Well, Coach, the calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's go. Let's do this.
They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Good job, Dave.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. On second down, this is Edmonds. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Man out.
Jackson from the shotgun. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
QB drop.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Catch is made by Harry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it first and goal.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Here we go. 60 out low. 52's the mic. Watch twist. Check. Kill. Watch the edge. Tighten up. Squeeze. Catch it. Check it.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Strip that ball. Hey, Mike 52. 65.
Now Jackson. Flushed out right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Throwing is Jackson. Open man, it's Keith Kirkwood. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Jackson now. Steps away to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Mike, I got one. 44 is the Mike. 44 is Mike. Check. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. 44.
From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
4 down. Check. 4 down. Front. 48 to Mike. Let's go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Beck. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10 clear on the other side of the field. Fournette, a first down carry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Set, hut. Get the flag.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson.
Check.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and inches at the 34-yard line.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Showing it.
Here's Edmonds. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Back to the ground on 1st down, Edmonds. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Ready. Mike 51. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They go play action with Jackson. Rolling to his right. That was going to let it go deep. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 40 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Edmonds, able to avoid him. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd and goal, Jackson. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Mike 51. Crunch time, defense. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Out, get him, son. Get him. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Hey, Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. And here we go.
Jackson operating from the gun, eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points. Not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw again. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. It's caught inside the 25. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
That's another Jaguars first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
short kick. One of the up men will take it down. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half.
Let's go, boys, let's go!
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. To throw is Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Rashard Robinson with a pick, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had the interception on the last drive, which led to the tying touchdown. So 10-10 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Alert flare, 81. 56, the mic, boys, 56. Check, 56. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Okay? Check 50, check 50.
Again, it's Fournette.
You ain't going nowhere.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now 3rd and 5.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
That's what I do.
Here's Jackson to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. That'll go down as an 84-yard punt return. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
And of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
This fielded at the 2. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson, that one complete. He finds Sharp. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
It's a gain of 11. That's good for Jaguars. First down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run with Fournette, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
Move those chains. That's good for another Jacksonville 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Ready? Hey, come on. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Fournette running right. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Jackson. He wants it all for the end zone. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. The extra point up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
First down, Baltimore.
Let's go now. You. He's coming.
They'll run with Edmonds. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
We got this.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Another carry now for Edmonds. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go. And that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Now Jackson on first down. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. Here we go, D.
To throw again on second down. Jackson going for it all. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. To throw again is Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 4th down. Here's Jackson. He gets this into the hands of Kirkwood. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Keith Kirkwood, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Now a toss coming right side. Edmonds. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Check nine, check nine.
On the run, it's Fournette. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars have retaken the lead. Well, they had done a really nice job on him through 3 quarters plus, but you just had that feeling eventually he was going to get loose.
And this is why coaches always preach that it's a 4-quarter game, right? It gets trite for us. It gets trite for the fans. This is exactly what they're talking about. What you did before was terrific.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2, try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
You got nothing. Check.
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run with Edmonds again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, check Mike. Watching the grind. Watch the screen. 55 Mike.
Operating from the gun. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
2nd and 6 at the 34-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go. Big Dad, quick hands here.
Again, they run with Edmonds. 7 yards there and a first down.
Ready. Check 3. We got 3.
7. And the Raven first down.
51, Mike 51. You're not ready. 51's the Mike. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down, Ravens.
Jackson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll look to throw. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Check it.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Yeah, he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. Kaiser to throw for it on 4th. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. A costly sack. They'll have to use a timeout here. And barring a defensive penalty, they'll be looking at one final play. One final shot for Kaiser. Looking for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
No time on the clock. Are we going to overtime, or does it end right here? One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it is caught. They got it. So a touchdown and the two-point conversion with no time remaining. And we're off to overtime. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They'll run it again with Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Ready? Mike, 48. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. 48. 48 to Mike. Well done. Screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
First throw in overtime now for Jackson. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Jaguars, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.